Hi everyone, welcome back. So I'm just continuing from our last video. So the next concept to explain after break-even point is the target profit. So obviously break-even means no profit, no loss. Target profit is therefore a profit which is higher than break-even. And as you can see, there's again two methods. You can either do the equation method, which is again the method I encourage, which if we expand this, it will be basically similar to the previous method. Basically we say sales minus variable cost minus fixed cost equals target profit. So sales is equal to selling price times quantity, variable cost is variable cost times quantity, and fixed cost is not dependent on quantity, and that gets equal to target profit. And again, if I have all of those inputs, so in other words, I have the selling price, I have the variable cost, I have the fixed cost, and I have the target profit, I can solve for the quantity that I need using the equation method. Then there's also again the contribution margin formula, which is similar to the formula above. As you can see, above it was fixed cost divided by contribution margin per unit. The only difference now is I don't just need to cover my fixed cost of the contribution margin, I need to cover the target profit as well. So it just becomes fixed cost plus target profit. Alright, and then that's in units. If I need to know how much I need in rand value in order to break even, it's the fixed cost plus the target profit divided by the contribution margin ratio, which is, I want you to see that this ratio is exactly the same as that ratio. The only difference is I don't just want to break even now, I want to have enough rand value sales in order to make a target profit. Alright, so again, as I said before, I encourage the equation method. However, you are welcome to study the formulas. These formulas will not be given to you in an exam, so therefore I encourage you to use the formula method, the equation method. However, if you're comfortable studying formulas, you're more than welcome to use these formulas. Alright, then the last concept before we do a short example is the concept of margin of safety. And basically the margin of safety is, to summarize, is how many units can you afford to lose for a loss. Okay, so basically margin of safety is basically how many units can you afford to lose before you make a loss. So remember, break even is no profit, no loss. So the aim is to sell more than break even. So the formula for margin of safety is sales minus break even sales. So example, if your sales is 10 and your break even is 4, that means you have a MOS, margin of safety, equal to 6. So in other words, you can afford to lose 6 units of sales before you make a loss. Alright, and then this can also be expressed as a percentage, where basically you take your break even in sales value divided by your current sales level. So this will be rand values. So it's sales in rand, margin of safety in rand value divided by the current sales in rand value, or you can do it in units, margin of safety in units divided by the current sales level in units. Alright, but the concept is that it is how many units can you afford to lose before you make a loss in. And practically, you want the margin of safety to be as high as possible. And the higher the margin of safety, the more viable a business is, or the more it gives you an indication of how well the business is performing. Because if their margin of safety is small, remember, anything can happen, and then they might be in a loss-making position. But if the margin of safety is big, that means they are more flexible for changes in the economy, etc. Before they're in a position where they can't make enough sales to cover their expenses. Alright, so that's the concept of margin of safety. So while we're in this video, We're going to be doing a class example in the next video. And remember, CVP, or cost volume profit, is basically a form of sensitivity analysis, and break-even analysis can be performed for any variable that would affect the financial impact of a decision or the profitability of an entity. So, in other words, break-even is impacted by selling price, variable cost, quantity, and fixed costs. And all of that, as you've seen, has an impact on profit. And that's really what we're going to be doing in the next example. And we want you to take note of linking your understanding of cost behavior with the understanding of algebra, maths. And just lastly, memorizing formulas is not only required, it's not encouraged, and so therefore we want you to apply really the mathematical perspective of answering these questions. Alright, so we're going to leave it there for now. When we come back, we're going to be doing the illustrative example. Alright.